welcome to the Peace Circle. I'm Gina, and I'm coming to you from sunny Rhode Island. I am here in Warwick, Rhode Island, and so grateful to be here with you today. It is a beautiful day in spring here, and it was funny because it was 90 degrees yesterday, and today it is a gorgeous 60. So quite the swing, but I love the light, the light late at night, and I love the swings because it makes it cool now. Hello, Kathy. Wonderful to be here with you today. Thank you for joining us this afternoon here at the Peace Circle, where we come together to be the change we wish to see in the world. You know, who doesn't want more peace in their life? Who doesn't want world peace? Who wouldn't want to create a life that works for all? And how do we do that? It's a great soundbite, but how do we make it so? It's more than just something that we talk about. It needs to be a practice. So I am here on every Monday night, and I am here to talk about how is it that we find our way to peace? How do we cultivate it personally so that we can be that source of peace in the world? What does it look like? What does it feel like? See, I grew up in inner city Boston, and I certainly didn't know what meditation was. I didn't understand what peace really meant. You know, I would think of peace as no war, but there's so much more to it than that. It's so important that we understand that we are the ones that get to make the world the way we choose if we can hold those thoughts and we know that truth. Hello, Wayne. Great to have you here. And I would love it for those of you that are coming in and you are watching. I thank you for being here, and I appreciate it. And our topic tonight is reverence and authenticity. And what you may say, well, what does that have to do with peace? Every week there's a different topic because it helps us get to that place of peace within ourselves. Peace is when we're not experiencing it when we're feeling disturbed by some reason, something that seems to be bothering us that isn't the way we would choose it to be. So I picked different topics, maybe things that can help us align with peace or some that may throw us off. And today the topic is reverence and authenticity. So coming into that place of appreciation and respect for ourselves and for all, and also being in a place of being our true selves, knowing who we are, whose we are, and allowing that to truly be who we display in the world, who we show up as, and also how we help other people show up as that. So I wanted to start, as I always do, with my poem, I Too Have a Dream, because I believe that this is what it's all about. In my dream, too, we all are equal, and not color, religion, nor income defines who we are. Neither country nor region defines us as kin. Whether 2 legs or 4, plant or animal, we are all created of the one Creator, with no greater claim to borrow this beautiful earth. In my dream, we all are one, treating each other with love and respect, and living in peace. We are all truly awake, knowing our purpose to share love and joy and uplift each other, and in doing so, uplift ourselves. In my dream, we each remember and appreciate each other and truly understand that all is well. So we're going to talk about that today. You know, is all well? How do we get to that place where we are feeling in alignment with that? One of our teachings that we have, that we talk about is that all is well. And another one is a world that works for everyone. And we're going to talk about that as well. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Is it happening now? And if not, how do we get there? So there's a lot of things I want to talk about around reverence. Now, what does reverence mean? Reverence is to honor, respect. It's either felt or shown. It's profound, adoring, awed respect. That's reverence. So when you revere someone, it could be a bow. It's a gesture of respect. It may be words that are said when you're honoring them. It's holding someone in esteem, in appreciation, reverence. Now, the first thing I want to talk about with that is ourselves, because how we show up in the world has most to do with how we feel about ourselves. If you can't look anyone in the eye because you don't feel good about you, you're showing up a certain way. Oftentimes, what I find is people can come across as aloof and maybe seem like they're not interested, and people get the wrong reading. Really, what they may be is insecure. They're not feeling comfortable within themselves. Therefore, they're rejecting that out. And other people may feel uncomfortable with that. You know, so often in life, we think we understand. Oh, I saw that look. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Or I've even said it. I know what that means. Oh, I can tell that they're not interested. I can tell that they're, and you know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Oftentimes we think that we are mind readers, and we're not. And it's so important that we have common conversation. But we have to know ourselves and be strong enough in ourselves to do that. We have to appreciate and respect who and whose I am. Each one is an individualized expression, an infinite child of that most divine, a beloved of the beloved. When you know yourself as a child of that divine, what don't you deserve? Of course you deserve respect. Of course you deserve a job that you love, a position that's going to treat you the way you deserve to be treated, surrounded by people that appreciate you. Everyone deserves that. And if we're not in that, if that's not our experience, well, how do we change it? Because it's hard to have reverence for others when we don't appreciate or respect ourselves. And it's hard to make change and be at peace when I'm not at peace with my peace. See, everybody looks differently. I love thinking of people like pieces of a puzzle. It's that big mosaic of life. And Spirit made you perfect. Perfect as you are. Yes, we work to be more in alignment with, but we already have everything we need within. You know, when you think of the statue of David, you know, he said that I just had to carve him out. He was already in there. Of course he was already in there, but he had to get through the marble to get there, but he already saw it. Do you see that highest version of yourself? Are you reaching to be more authentic, to respect yourself and others, and hold yourself in esteem and not allow others to treat you any way but a child of the beloved? How would you treat royalty? Do you treat yourself that way? So as we listen to this first song, I encourage you to listen in loving, loving receptivity. It's Karen Drucker, and it's I will be gentle with myself. And I invite you to allow yourself to be just that. Be gentle with yourself. Be in this place of love. Be in this place of full acceptance of the glory of who you are right now. A beautiful child that does not need to change just to become more of yourself. Those divine attributes within you. The best is within. So really be in this place and allow that self-respect, that self-appreciation, and not in a vain way, but simply appreciating the gifts Spirit has given you.
gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
I love that. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. Think about those words. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. Who among us have not had a baby in our arms that was either, whether it was our child or a niece or a nephew, or may have even been a younger sibling, and had that knowing that you would do anything for this child, that this child was In your arms, this infinite being could be or do anything. And you saw that infinite potential. Well, that's what it's talking about holding yourself like a newborn baby child, being tender and gentle and optimistic and knowing the truth of yourself, honoring yourself in that way. There's no arrogance in that. It's simply loving what Spirit's given you. It's a way to practice gratitude. So I'd like to share with you it's actually reading out a daily word, and it's Thursday, August 20th of 2020, and it's entitled Respect. I respect myself and all others. Variations of the golden rule can be found throughout the world's religions. Today, I set the intention to live by this timeless rule of treating others the way that I wish to be treated. I see the divine in myself as a child of God, and I treat others with the highest respect as I recognize and celebrate their innate divinity. I offer respect in all of my encounters with people. I commit to listening without clamoring to speak. I practice patience with those who don't keep my peace, with those that don't keep my pace. I meet impatience with compassion. I behold my neighbors as my teachers, and I treat them with reverence. You know, that says so much. I offer respect in all of my encounters with people. So every time I come across someone, whether it's the teller at the grocery store or the person in front of me in line at the bank, or perhaps it's someone on the phone that's calling as a telemarketer that you didn't want to answer the phone at that time. It's everyone, people I appreciate and those that I may not. I commit to listening without clamoring to speak. I practice patience with those who don't keep my pace. How many times do we have, whether it's elderly parents or grandparents, and it can be frustrating at times when they forget things, or when you're trying to do the best you can and they want it done their way, and it can be frustrating. We're trying to rush, we're trying to get to life, and we're trying to help them the best way we can, and it takes more time. And it's about practicing patience, because I assure you, my mom transitioned this past July, and both of my parents have and grandparents have, and I can tell you what I wouldn't give to be practicing patience with them today. And I meet impatience with compassion. I behold my neighbors as my teachers and treat them with reverence. Everybody, every circumstance is either an experience of love or a call to love. So when I am enjoying life, then that's when, it's truly, I am in that place of love. And when I am not, that is a call to love. Because there is only one. We know unity. We know there's only oneness. So if I am mad at someone, if I am angry, if I am against anything, it's practicing againstness within myself. So it's so important that we live in a way that honors life itself. So when we talk about peace, it's honoring all. Even when people don't agree, it's having that common conversation. No matter what it looks like, it's respecting everyone. I hate that there's sides. I hate that there's times in life, especially in society right now, that it feels like againstness, that it's anything but respect is what you see sometimes. And the truth is, these are my brothers and sisters within the beloved. And it's not about right or wrong, it's just different. My call is to love. Am I being tolerant? Am I being loving? Am I being kind? You know, that old statement, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know, and I remember growing up thinking, well, that's not, like, to me, that wasn't anything. I didn't appreciate that in any way. Didn't answer anything to me. But there's so much more to it. When I am being love, showing up as love, amazing things happen for me. Because it's never about someone else. My opportunities, my joy, my life comes through me from the inside out. And I ask you, are you living in that way? Are you honoring and respecting yourself? No, I don't need to be around people that I may clash with. I don't necessarily need to put myself or watch something that I'm going to disagree with. I need to know what's going on in the world, but I don't need to sit there and get myself aggravated. I can pray for them and move on. But I don't ever want to be in that place of hate, anger, resentment, because that's when it lodges in me and it blocks my sunlight of the spirit. It blocks my enlightenment. Because when we let the light in, that is where the enlightenment is. So it's allowing spirit to take care of any seeming differences and honoring that person, whoever it may be. And sometimes when it's people in our life, that we have relationships with, it may be hard. You know, my mom and I, even my dad and I, often would bump against each other at times. And it's not a lack of respect. It was simply that I didn't necessarily agree. You know, we practice different faiths. We practice different, and you know, that's fine. It's not about right or wrong. I don't have to prove it to anyone. I simply need to be and demonstrate love today. And when I do, my life is better. And that's when I can help create peace in the world, because peace is within me. So I invite you to listen to our next song. And it's Michael Gott. And I have to say, last weekend, this topic was actually for last Monday. And for those of you that were watching, I apologize. I don't know what happened, whether it was the network, whether it was me, but just thrown off 10 minutes in. Wouldn't let me in initially. And 10 minutes in, it just went away. So that's why we have this topic this week. But we had a conference for the School of Spiritual Leadership. We had a conference for all of the ministers to be in CSL. And he was a speaker that was absolutely precious. He really had a wonderful message and just completely authentic. And I invite you to listen to this song that way, in its authenticity. Just be still and know. Be in that place of stillness and see what Spirit has to say to you.
I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my my soul, be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
So in that quiet place is where that reverence can happen, is where that truth and connection often happens. That quiet place where we come to that divine truth in that still small voice. You know, when I think of reverence, I think of oftentimes honoring the people that have gone before us, and that's sometimes it comes in many different forms. And that can be hard because it can be grief. It can be things like memorial masses or a ceremony, celebration of life ceremony. Every different culture has different ways that they go about it. And I encourage you to honor whatever it is that you need to. I know for me, one of the things that I've come to realize is on anniversaries and things like that, I need to remind myself so that I don't end up on the day kind of just falling into a funk. That can happen for me. And an example of that for me is my sister on, it was September 2nd would be 14 years that she transitioned. My best friend, my only sibling, and we were extremely close. And I know I can feel myself sometimes in that place of not necessarily grief as much as on a conscious level, but I can feel when I think of her, I'm different. Sometimes there's like a rumble in the background, or sometimes it almost feels like a blanket on my joy at times. It happens. And if I don't recognize that there's a reason for it, it doesn't get better. When I have that feeling, and it doesn't have to be at an anniversary, it could be on an event that I wish that she was here for. If I simply say to my husband or a friend, I really miss her today. And usually I'll say that and I'll end up in tears in that moment. But it lasts a moment and not for 3 days. It's so important that we honor what we've been through in our lives. Not suffer. There's a difference. Pain happens. Suffering is choosing, consciously or unconsciously, to stay in that. Reverence is when we honor the path that we've taken. And some of those things are difficult. We've had losses, all of us. Think about this past year. A lot has happened. And as many of us are reemerging and we're going back into the light of the joy of celebration. And that's wonderful. And we don't want to forget what we've been through. We want to honor and appreciate things more because we didn't have them. We want to be in a place of knowing it was hard. If there was a loss, we don't want to pretend it didn't happen. And oftentimes, especially in New Thought, we can do a spiritual bypass. And, it's important for us to acknowledge where we are. And I think that's part, for me, of how we ended up where we are in our country with the seeming division that we have, whether it be politically or racial inequality or gender or, sexual identity and orientation, whatever it may be. When we don't have communication, when we don't honor and talk about, that's when things come up and all of a sudden we need to heal them. So they've been revealed to be healed, especially in the time, people were home watching a lot of television, and there was a time of, there was a lot of things that happened. And there's no coincidence. We don't want to forget George Floyd. We don't want to forget Breonna Taylor. We don't want to, we do need to say their names in reverence, in love, and make change so it doesn't happen again. It's not about sides. It's simply about honoring life and truth and coming to a common conversation around that. And what does that look like? And being authentic about it. That's why I paired those two up. Authenticity to me needs to go with reverence. Honor is sacred. And we have to authentically honor. It's not about giving something a holiday. It's not about just, the case was won and it's done. It's not done. Change is happening from this point. That was simply a breaking point where things became a little bit clearer of what was going on. Even when it came to, Trump being elected president. It doesn't matter where you were on a side. The truth is, the reason why there was such division was because he was saying things no one had for a long time. And it gave voice to people that didn't feel heard. You don't have to agree with one side or the other. And hopefully it's not about sides. It's simply listening. But that's why there were a lot of people surprised that he even won. There were a lot of people surprised at a lot of things over the past few years. But there was a voice to it. And we must listen. We must speak our authentic voice. We must be heard. It's not enough to love. We must be spiritual advocates. We must stand for what it is we believe in. Not against anyone or anything, but for love. Stand for the principles that are changeless truths. Stand for what is the highest that you believe in. And from that still small voice within you, it comes. Even in the darkest times. There's something I'd like to read to you out of the Science of Mind. And I don't know if you can see all my little tags and everything because I love it. But it's on page 515 in the back. And it says, hope cannot die. Hope cannot die. Eternal hope is forever warm and fresh within me. The deathless hope built upon the rock of sure knowledge, a hope sublime. O life supreme, behold, I come to thee as a tired child, and thou dost rekindle within me the fires of faith. Strong, swift, and sure, faith springs forth into action, and my entire being rises to meet the dawn. Hope, faith, love are in me. This is the truth. This is the truth of who I am, and I can go back to that always. I am never alone. Spirit in me, as me, is always with me. That presence goes with me in any and everywhere I go. And all I need to do is call upon it to know the right thing to say or do. My prayer often, whether it be on this show or if I'm speaking on a Sunday, is to have, use me, Spirit. Whatever words need to be heard, let them be said. And may my intent be what people hear. Because sometimes there's statements that are triggers for everyone. We all have buttons that can be pushed, and it's almost like a reaction. So may our hearts, minds stay open for that common conversation. Recognize when people are being authentically them. Listen. You don't have to agree. Just like when it comes to forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't for the person that you're forgiving. It's always for the one holding the resentment or the anger. It's never about someone else. So I really encourage you to think about that. The listening, the conversation, it's always about us. It's me dealing with my stuff and how I interpret it, never someone else. So when it comes to honoring and being in that place, especially with what's going on, I wanted to share this reading, and it's actually from our spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. and Edward Villigen. I have a hard time with his last name sometimes, so please forgive me. And it's it's from the Science of Mind magazine back in December. And it says, a world that works for all. There is no truth except the truth that exists within you. Everything else is what someone is telling you. And that's Neil Donald Walsh. And I love that. Because, truth is something that you feel. It's not a doctrine. It's something that you know that this feels right. And the next quote is from Ernest Holmes. Principle is not bound by precedent, and our good is not limited or conditioned by any good that has ever been manifest. We should confidently expect a greater good than we have ever experienced or than we can ever have known of anyone experiencing. So there is no limit. Centers for Spiritual Living is guided by vision of a healthy, loving world called the Global Vision that invites us to imagine a world that works for everyone. A friend once joked with me about vision, saying, I know exactly what the world that works for everyone looks like. For me, it would be a world where everyone does exactly what they wanted them to. Although he meant to be humorous, he identified an important consideration for creating a world that works for all. We cannot be so tuned into ourselves that we become intolerant or dismissive of the varieties of ways other people wish the world to be. Our idea of a world working must be larger than our individual preferences and desires. It must embrace with respect the diversity of other people's worldviews. I can no more expect people to behave the way I want them to than I can expect them to believe the way that I believe. Nevertheless, the global vision in no way requires me to give up my spiritual values or to refrain from expressing them with conviction. Instead of wishing the world would fall into my way of thinking, it would be better for me to become so tuned into what is right and true for me that it shapes my choices and influences how I show up in the world. And the affirmation is, today I embrace the diverse ways in which the truth shows up, and I embrace it with awe and wonder. So it's not trying to change anyone or anything. It's simply allowing and speaking truth, knowing, in my authentic self, I am doing the best I can today, is all that I ever have to do. Authenticity goes a long way. Vulnerability is part of that. Allowing people in. We all know people that are very, very formal or sometimes standoffish. They may not say much. They certainly don't let you in. I am someone that wears my heart on my sleeve. It's not even a question. I have no poker face. And everybody's different. But because I am the way that I am, and I offer from my heart, and I speak in my deepest truths, I speak of real life stuff. I share some of the good, bad, and the ugly. I speak in my truth. People can sense that. And I used to say I kind of get away with. I worked at Goodwill for a while, and I helped people go from welfare to work. And there are some people that really had some difficulties, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional, dis-ease or different kinds of whatever seeming handicaps or difficulties. And anything can be worked through. And it's amazing what people can do when they choose to, when they realize, when somebody believes in them. But people used to say, I can't believe you say that, whatever it may be. And I would speak authentically. I spoke about myself. I spoke from the heart, and they knew it. And I could say it. I was being honest, and I was never mean, but I would be honest. If something, I'd say, is that really the reason? And they'd usually kind of look at me and laugh, or there'd be different types of things that they'd say you can get away with because I'm being authentic. And it's never, ever about hurting anyone, but it's coming from a place, it's defined as, authentic is actually defined as worthy of acceptance or belief, as conforming to or based on fact. Paints an authentic picture, or conforming to an original so as to be reproduced, not false or imitation, real, actual, true to one's own personality, spirit or character, sincere and authentic with no pretenses. So I am not showing up as so happy to see you when I'm not. I'm not pretending that all is well when I'm not. I'm not skirting the conversations that are difficult, things like Black Lives Matter, because they do. And I can be honest and tell you, when that first started, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. It used to frustrate me. And I say this to you now because I really spent a couple of years that I just it didn't align with me. I didn't like the language. I wasn't against, but I always practiced that all did. So I couldn't understand why, with our language of oneness, how do I go to this other place? So I asked questions. People that I loved and respected, I asked questions. I allowed for there to be a common conversation where I could say, why? Because I knew why would I see it this way? And the truth came to, for me, I was practicing it because I thought this way. Therefore, why would I say it any other way? Of course, all lives matter. And when I looked in the world, it wasn't showing up that way. So when I say all is well, on the level of truth, all is well. But when I look and people are suffering, there's division, seeming division. There's arguing, there's different sides, there's a lot of people suffering, a lot of people angry, hurt, not able to have that common conversation, not feeling heard, not feeling honored or respected. Then it's time for change. And that's what that's all about. There ended up being over 500,000 people that felt that way and walked in 550 demonstrations this year, in the past year and a half. The 25th, which is tomorrow, is a year, where we will never forget, I can't breathe. So George Floyd will carry on, and we will hopefully, within our society, honor life on a higher level. We'll see it differently. We heard it differently that day. And as a result, that's why we stand up. That's why it's not enough just to love, but it's to be in a place of that advocacy for it. And now I get it. So we stand together until it shows up that way. Till what I see is what I believe. That's why we treat. That's why we pray. That's why we have affirmative prayer, is to show up authentically and treat and demonstrate. But it's treat and move our feet. It's not just waiting for it to happen. We treat and move our feet. So I asked questions till I got it. And I am that spiritual advocate. I love actively in any way I can. On different days, it shows up as different things, but I invite you to be in that place of authenticity. And I'd love to share one more song because it is so joyful. As I said in the beginning, we're not at peace until we're at peace with who we are exactly as we are. Each piece of a puzzle is different shapes, sizes, colors. It's meant to be that way. Has to be exactly the way it is. You are exactly as you are meant to be. And that's what this song is. It is exactly by Amy Steinberg. And I absolutely love her. She was at Concordia Center for Spiritual Living, which was, in Rhode Island yesterday for the service. And her energy is beautiful. And the song is exactly. So I invite you to sit back, listen, or better yet, tap your feet, dance, do whatever you need to, and just listen.
lips to touch, twist, perfect what came next to produce me. As look at me and you will see the breeze. The breeze it took to shake the leaves to make my mother's hair move. My father dare touch it and say, please, may I have a kiss? Yes, the breeze made me exist. And if you want to get even deeper into this right now, you will look at me and see a big old cloud. That's right, the cloud it took to form the storm, to make the breeze, to shake the leaves, to inspire the lip lock. Yes, a raindrop will pop up out these words. You heard me right. If you look at me close enough, you will see a dark, stormy night. And what is night? Well, night ain't night without a polar opposite of sunlight. So if you watch the way my hands play, you'll see the light of day. And every day is a testament to the sediment of the earth's cores, ever spinning enormous force. So when you look at me just right, you'll see a spark of the source. But the most fascinating thing about this, and it's true, is that if you look at me just right, you see only what you perceive, how you believe, the space between you and me that creates reality. So when I sing, you can feel it. When I cry, you can heal it. When I speak words, you can be the words I speak by singing with me. Peace, love, free. 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 And when I try to fight or run, I only wind up back at square one. And when I think I know what's best for me, fate, she takes me back to exactly where I need to be. And when I am alone and full of fear, I just remember the rising sun always appears. And every day, miracles, miracles that I see. Will you take me back? You take me back, you take me back, you take me back to exactly where I need to. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am a blessing manifest.
You are that blessing made manifest. I love that song. I love her. Take a look at her again. It is Amy Steinberg, and she's on YouTube. You can take a look at some of her stuff. Amazing. And, you know, it's just, you shine infinitely. Allow yourself to shine from that inside out. The last reading that I want to do, and it's because I really did love it, is from Daily Word, and it was August 11, 2019. It says, I am free to be my true self, and it's under authenticity. It says, today I may be called to fill many roles: parent, child, spouse, partner, friend, neighbor, coworker, consumer, or citizen. As I contemplate the unwavering power of infinite love, I understand that my true self, my authentic self, is divine. I am guided to speak and act for the highest good of all concerned. I can express myself with courage and compassion. In strife, my words and actions bring forth peace, reconciliation, and wholeness. In accord with my contribution is a magnet for joy, beauty, and abundance. Trusting my authentic self, I allow the glory of the infinite to transform ordinary circumstances into magnificent possibilities. And we are doing that right here and right now. We are allowing the infinite, the glory of the infinite, to transform ordinary circumstances into magnificent possibilities. So, you know, manure, that crap, fertilizes the soil. We are ready for change, and we can allow that to grow in amazing ways. Shower love, shower peace, see the possibility. Be in that place of loving kindness. Have those common conversations. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Say what needs to be said and be in that authentic place. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Don't pretend you're not feeling whatever it is. Honor yourself and grow through it. Allow whatever it is to till the fertile soils of change. Be in that place of knowing that better is coming, and be that better now. It is your treatment. It is your passion. It is your beliefs and your faith. All of those things are what help raise our country and our world. And in doing that, we can't help but raise ourselves. That's how it works. Spirit works through us, for us. So if we're giving or doing or being, we're celebrating it as spirit, and that's a beautiful thing. So I encourage you to be here, present in the presence. Be in that place of, yes, honoring, reverence for all life, for all animals in this planet, and all good. It's right here, right now. Be your authentic self. Live, shine, expect miracles, joyful, joyful miracles. The world needs you exactly as you are. The world needs you. So I want you to know that I love you, and Spirit loves you. I'm for you, and I know Spirit is for you. Therefore, you are in the majority right there. Spirit's got you, and you are seen. It's so important that we know that everyone is seen. Spirit is always there. Reach out to me if there's any questions or comments. Please feel free. You can put them in chat, but reach out to me. Let me know what topics would you like covered on the Peace Circle, or even Joy is in the Journey. By all means, I am also here for coaching on a one-to-one basis. Whether it be a practitioner or whether it be for life coaching, I am here if I can help in any way. And know that here at ntmedia.org, we are here. We're praying. We have a prayer team that is here at prayer at ntmedia.org. We're here with prayer. First thing in the morning, 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Central Time, or 10:15 a.m. p.m. on the East Coast where I am. We are here for prayer. So know that there is truth here. And if you've been blessed by anything said here or on this network, know that this network is made possible because of people like you. Circulate the good. Know that it has to come back. So ntmedia.org, you go there and there's a button that says donate. Please, if it's $5, $50, or a monthly contribution, whatever it is that is in your heart to share, please, we would love it. It helps the good news to be out there. And I am so grateful to Reverend Robert for creating this wonderful opportunity for us to get together and have this common conversation, to be here to talk about and bring about peace in the world, cultivate it in new ways every week. So I thank you for being here, and I celebrate you. I love you, and I am for you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Can't wait to hear from you soon. Be well, be blessed. I love you. Have a great night.